Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Today's article comes from the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization, and the headline is Sasquatch in Trap Set Free by Trooper, Pennsylvania. It was published January 4th, 2020. TT writes, RMSO, please keep my name confidential and completely understand if I am not believed. I was 17 in 1990 and squirrel hunting in Pennsylvania, and I hear a painful sounding grunt and whimper like a deer would make, and could hear what sounds like struggling. So thinking it was a deer caught in the bushes or whatever, I went to where the noise was. Again, completely understand if I am not believed. I saw a 4-foot tall Bigfoot caught in a metal trap, the kind that's just a metal bar that the hillbillies use not to ruin the fur. I turned to run as my legs were now jelly, as I was terrified. But it let out a soft cry that would have made a serial killer feel bad. I was heartbroken over the noise, and I'm a hunter, and later became a correctional officer and then currently a cop. So I'm not the sentimental bleeding heart type, but I am not a monster and truly care for people. Anyway, so I set down my single-shot 20-gauge shotgun and went over and walked over to it. And it was a quiet, sad, monotone crying, sort of how a dog cries in pain. Not a yelp, but a whimper is the best way that I can describe it. So I got on my knees to free her. The trap was twisted around the tree, and she could not get a grasp. Also, I say her because she turned her whole body and face away from me as I was doing it. At the time, I thought in fear, but 20 plus years of dealing with abused women, I now believe it to be from shame. I don't know why my fear was gone. I just felt sad and heartbreak. I was able to free her, and she walked 10 feet and turned to me and just stared into my soul for about 10 seconds. And it was calming and comforting. She turned and walked away. This encounter kind of killed a part of me and destroyed my belief in anything I thought was and is possible. I am a part of a small minority of people who truly know that people don't live in a world they believe they do. That sucks, as I feel a part of my innocence was stolen. Not by her, but by the trappers. It's good to be blind to this stuff, as now anything becomes possible. UFOs, ghosts, etc. She looked like most Bigfoot pictures you see, and can't remember much features, but can remember exactly how I felt. Thank you for listening, and I understand any skepticism, as I am a cop. But I just wanted to be heard, and now want to forget it again. RMSO responds. Heart-wrenching encounter. Yes, we will keep you anonymous. Is it okay if we use your first name when we blog post your encounter, or initials of TT? Do you recall details of her appearance, color of hair, how thick or long it was, thickness of body to height ratio, her face or eyes, human-like, ape-like, or something in between? And sorry to bring it up, but how bad was her injury? Appreciate hearing from you. TT responds. Just TT, please. Medium auburn hair, looked kind of greasy. Looking like if you haven't washed your hair in a while. Very thick and felt like dirty bear fur. Don't want to describe face because it looked humanish, and I don't think it's accurate, but close enough to not feel dumb for saying it. Lighter brown with black patches, but not human-shaped, more like an ovalish ape face. She was thick, but not fat. Her legs were thinner, and her foot looked humanish, but like a monkey. It was black, with minimal hair around the ankle, and the toenails seemed dirty, but not long and rounded. Felt like the touch of the bottom of a dog's paw. No visible blood, some hair rubbed off, and a scrape. She could have pried it off, but the way it was twisted around the tree, she couldn't reach. I had some issues opening it myself due to my hand shaking a little, being 17. I wasn't scared, as I said. I felt comforted for some reason. Nothing supernatural, just the comfort of knowing you are doing the right thing. And whatever happened after she was justified, as far as she knew, it wasn't my trap. Her eyes were black, but at that distance, hard to say, as they kind of were hypnotic, like two people who just went through something traumatic, who spoke silently, understanding, and gratitude through simple look. I will not give any location, but state as I don't know who follows you looking to do harm to them. I know you are fine and should understand. Thanks. RMSO. What part of Pennsylvania or as close to the location you are willing to safely divulge? I know you want to keep these creatures safe, but we like as close as we can get to map Bigfoot populations across North America. TT. Big Mountain is what it's called. Seriously. The area was next to a stream, and in between two hills was a flat with a giant oak tree in the middle. I was coming to hunt for squirrels. It was early October, so the leaves were just starting to fall. And that is the end of this article. Now, this is a very cool story and a very cool encounter. I really like the realness of the emotion in this, because he speaks in the beginning about after seeing this Bigfoot, it stole his innocence away. Meaning that he no longer could believe that things like this did not exist. And that is a moving and a very true sentiment for a lot of us. When I began into paranormal many, many, many moons ago, when I was young, I began because I enjoyed the stories. I thought that they were interesting, and I just really liked them, and something about them drew me in. And then as I started researching more and started having encounters of my own and realizing that a lot of these things that most of the population believe to be fairy tales or legends are actually true, and a lot of these creatures do exist, then I experienced that same kind of soul rocking that this gentleman is talking about, where you all of a sudden open your eyes and realize that the world is a very different place than you thought it was. And when you went to bed last night believing that all these things were make-believe and you were safe, and then you wake up the next day and you realize you aren't. That Bigfoot exists, that the Loch Ness Monster exists, that there are ghosts, that there are demons, that there are creatures out there from legend and lore that actually roam the earth. In that moment, it's all bets off. I mean, it really, to copy a phrase that is often used and misused, it's a come to Jesus moment. In all reality, because your entire foundation is rocked when you know these things to be real. It's one thing to think, well, I believe that. That could be true, or that might be possible. But to know that it's real is a whole nother experience. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys thought of this article and what you guys think in general of what I've said tonight. I think that this was a very cool story, man. I love the idea of rescuing this Bigfoot from the trap. I am also a hunter. I've hunted most of my life and fished. I've done it so that I can feed myself for a large portion of my life. Now that I do not need to hunt or fish for food, I haven't been for years, honestly. It's not that I'm against hunting. I'm not. I think if you want to go hunt, that's your right, and it's all good. And I enjoy it myself. But my freezer is always full. So I'm not going to go kill something if I'm not going to eat it. And if my freezer is full, I don't have any place to put the meat. So I'm not going to do it. But I don't have anything against hunting, but I do not care much for trapping. I think trapping, unless they're instant kill traps, is a very inhumane way to dispatch an animal. Because in a lot of these traps, the animal will step in it and it will get their foot or their leg. And a lot of these claw traps are very, very painful. They dig into the meat, into the bone in some cases. And the animal just kind of sits there until it dies of blood loss or dehydrates or whatever. And that sucks, man. That's a horrible way to go. So I'm not a fan of trapping, but I do enjoy hunting. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. As always, it is up to you to make up your own mind, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.